How do you feel about BlackRock and friends buying so much Bitcoin? I was orange pilled a few years ago based on its potential to solve so many world problems. But if these guys own too much of it, won't it just be a super tool for them to further concentrate their wealth?
Well, their wealth is going to be concentrated anyways. They own the world, and they are going to continue trying to own anything out there that they can get their hands on. So Bitcoin's the next best asset class that everybody's interested in. And so, yeah, they're going to try to, like I've been saying in my past videos and from my trade alerts and whatever, or market updates, like they definitely want to own more than Satoshi owns, which is 1 million Bitcoin. And like the 9 ETFs, I think it's like almost 900,000 Bitcoin right now that these 9 ETFs own. So yeah, they're gonna keep buying and buying and buying, and they're gonna keep buying and buying on the way up as the price goes up. A lot of older people like veterans in this space are gonna let go of their coins, and that's going to be sold over to BlackRock, because BlackRock really doesn't care about the price that they buy. They don't. They have unlimited cash essentially. So they own regulators, they own governments. Like I said, they own the world, and they don't really care what price Bitcoin is. That they're going to buy at any price. And then once they have that, they're never going to sell it back. You know what I mean? So they're probably going to be the ultimate holders. And they are going to be able to manipulate the price like crazy in different ways, like spoofing and other ways like fake orders. Whatever they do, they are pros at what they do. They didn't become like $11 trillion assets under management for being the nice guy, you know what I mean?
I think what's important to note too is they're manipulating the price, but mostly they're manipulating your emotions of the product. So if you don't know anything about Bitcoin and you hear news articles coming out from BlackRock, or there's certain patterns in the market that you're seeing, like a lot of selling going off or something, and you don't know what Bitcoin is all about and the freedom that it brings to the world, then you're probably going to be much more easily shaken out of your position. But like we were going over these questions earlier today, and what you said earlier I thought was great. What you said was the difference here with Bitcoin is that it gives everyone an option to take part in that wealth transfer.
Yeah, sure. It definitely does. There's going to be, for me, I'm not going to sell all my Bitcoin at the end of this bull market. I don't care what it does. Mm-hmm. It could go to 1 million. It could go right back down to 10,000, whatever, all these other people would like it to go to. And I wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. I'm using these alts as a way to purchase what we'd like to purchase and keep as much Bitcoin as possible. So, yeah.
You are not boring me. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Heidi.
I tend to yawn a lot, and it's nothing to be taken offensive. I know you don't have. Okay. Next question.
She works her butt off, by the way. That's how she is every...
Thanks, Toby.
Yeah.
I've noticed that ETFs can significantly impact Bitcoin's price. What are the risks if there is a big banking crisis or a recession and ETF investors are forced to sell their holdings, for instance, due to bankruptcy? Could this lead to a much bigger drop in Bitcoin's price compared to past downturns? So, this person, it's so bullish how much buying is happening from these ETF providers like BlackRock, Fidelity, Van Eck, and the handful of others.
Who knows if Vanguard is in this? I bet they are.
Secondarily they are. But so they're buying all these Bitcoin because they have to have it on their books to provide the product to invest for their customers who are buying their ETF product. But if the reverse were to happen and these customers now have to sell their shares of the ETF, then that would mean that BlackRock would also have to sell their Bitcoin. Would they actually sell it?
No.
Could they get away with hanging on to it but acting like they're selling it?
Sure. They pay in cash.
If it is a banking crisis or a recession, those people that are holding an ETF and not real Bitcoin would love to be holding real Bitcoin, and they're going to have a harsh slap in the face when they realize that, they're just getting exposure to the price of it, not the actual utility of the technology.
I think that's a great question. And if I was BlackRock, I would love a recession. I would love that to happen. It's like I remember trading gold and silver. So like the silver, spot silver, whatever, and looking at like the CME numbers. And so it's Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So they trade silver, whatever, paper silver. And so if you have enough paper silver, as I remember, you can buy like a big piece of silver. You know what I mean? But I remember like people getting paid out in cash, like getting extra money to not take delivery of their silver. And I think the same thing would probably happen here. I can't see BlackRock letting go of their Bitcoin just because Bitcoin is such a powerful tool. I think they're starting to realize that now. And they want control over it as much as they can. And they're going to do whatever they can to try to gain control of it. So yeah, it's going to be, if you're BlackRock, you would definitely hope for a recession and people sell. That's my opinion.
Brutal.
Yeah.